So this stripboard has got quite fine holes, and these buttons are obviously meant to be surface mount, I would guess, or just go into a larger hole. So I got to drill these holes out a little bit. So I'm going to measure that up and drill them out and start placing stuff on the board here. Might as well get this bit on camera too. It took me about 20 years to realize that if I choke up on these little tiny drill bits, they're not as prone to breaking. So the button can now go in there, if I did this right. Yeah, so that's positive, ground, and then the various inputs and outputs. I'll solder this up, come right back. The other piece that I forgot is this little pager motor, or I guess they're going phones nowadays. A little vibration motor, offset weight on it. So it's fiddly though and flops around, so I'll save that till last. So I guess next thing is I'll get this first power connection in. You know what? This is actually a bit too long, this wire here. I'm going to cut this down because it's going to get in the way eventually. It's a little bit long. Yeah, we'll get this one cut down. And that's just going to go in the first two of these power and ground lines. Okay, that's in, so I'll get that cut down, soldered in, and be right back. It's going to sit there, it looks about right. This is actually also a bit long, but should be fine. So I'm going to get that in, that goes in just parallel with those. And actually, so for this orange one goes in number 3. These other 3 will just go into their corresponding holes here, so I'll get those soldered in, and then we can look at the resistors and the other stuff once on here. Okay, those are in. So the LED strip's going to go in here as well as the pager motor, like I said. But let's do the resistors now. So if I pull up for the button, so just 10K. Great. Now for the voltage divider, this is going to let us take the voltage level from the battery, which should be between 3.7 and 4.2, thereabouts. That's my understanding anyhow. And bring that down to somewhere between 0 and 3.3, so that the microcontroller can read it. Okay, and then 33 goes next to that. Okay, and it's going to go between ground and our sense pin. Okay, those are ready to go. Get them soldered in and be right back. Okay, that's in. So let's do the LED strip next. So these you can simply count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I need. Cut it in the middle of the pads there. Alright. And they are marked with a direction. I'm not actually sure if that's important for us right now. I guess it might be. This gives us the address, right? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to tin, well, actually put a blob of solder on these pads here, and then prepare some more of the ribbon cable for the data and the power and ground. It says 5 volts. I'm just running these straight off the battery, rather than going through the voltage supply that the photon board gives me. I figure that it might, there's not a lot here, but we were thinking at some point of using more LEDs, and we may still use more, so I don't want to be starving the this thing for power. So yeah, I'm going to solder stuff onto there, solder wires onto there, and then that's going to get fed in here, so I'll be back with that. Alright, let's do this here, why not? So, I'm going to hold that in place there. Let's see, orange is my data line. I'm just making these fairly low profile because it's a bit of a tight fit in there. Alright, and this ends up with a spot of glue, hot glue there as well to take some of the strain off of that joint. So this needs to go in here. It's another one where the cables are fighting me. So that's the two oranges connected up. Do you get that? Yep. Right. We'll solder that and be right back. Okay, those are in. What's going on here? Okay, last but not least is the pager motor. So this one goes into our ground. The other one is the green. This is just one of the digital outputs. We just send it a short pulse. Alright, that is the last soldered connection, I think.